Hi, I'm Kim, and you're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free, and never have to live in that misery again. Now, when you consider all of the aspects of these fiends' behaviors, personality traits, etc., and you consider how they're all linked, how they all say the same things, how they all react the same way, when you kind of confront them with their own behavior, the gaslighting, the hoovering, the discard, all of it, it's just generic 101 bullshit, and it's all the same, no matter what country you're in or what language is coming out of their mouth. They're all saying the same pile of shit. I kind of become a bit desensitized to, all of that behavior that links them on that common thread. But this one, I can't even get my head around it. Incest, sadly, is extremely common for these fiends, and for a number of reasons. Now, when you completely remove love, empathy, compassion, human connection from sex, you can be left with a pretty black hole there. For the narcissist, of course, sex is a weapon. Sex is a means of abusing people. Sex is a form of control and manipulation. The people that they're having sex with are nothing more than sex toys, tools of masturbation, blow-up dolls, etc. So when you start to look at all of that, you start to look at a fairly natural high level of sexual deviancy, pornography, obsessive pornography, and chronic masturbation. It starts to paint a pretty black picture of these creeps' sense of sexuality. Now, if you are co-parenting with one of these fiends, you might want to check out some of Sam Vaknin's videos about incest, and Sam does definitely warn you that these people, especially if you've got a diagnosis, like an actual clinical diagnosis, a BPD or NPD, anything covert or malignant, these people should never be left alone with small children. And if your children are under some sort of court order to spend time with them, you may want to stay on top of this pretty carefully. So one would assume that the most common form of incest is going to be a narcissistic father trying to engage in sexual relationships with his young biological daughter. That is definitely very prevalent. But one that is extremely common is sex amongst siblings. Now, when there is one narcissistic child and there is another sane child or multiple sane children, the narcissist, of course, feeling great bitterness and envy towards their siblings, will very often lash out this way to steal from them their dignity and their pride and to mortally wound them. Now, I'm just going to tell you, if I had a biological brother, which I do not, but if I did, and he was a narcissist and he forced himself upon me, I would probably have to suggest that I would be damaged goods in a way that was very, very difficult to recover from. And sadly, this is extremely common. Now, Trevor was adopted, and this is where the story gets weird. Now, Trevor had always hoped to meet his biological mother. I mean, the whole concept kind of scared him, but he was kind of on the edge there where he was willing to do that. One night, we're at home, the kids are there, my kids, I think his kids too, and he gets a text message or email or something, and he comes in very excited, looking kind of crazy, and shows me this. Do you think it's my mother, Kim? Do you think it could be my mother? And I immediately said, no, Trevor, I have 5 sons, and that isn't the way a mother speaks to their sons, especially if you're looking for an estranged son. So I said, no, that's not your mother, that's your sister. Well, he immediately snapped at me, I don't have a sister. Well, he would have no way of knowing that, and yes, sure as hell, he did have a sister. Anyways, he gets talking with his sister. He love bombs the shit out of this woman in a way that was, it was enough to stop you in your tracks. There was something pretty sick going on there. Now, of course, she comes to visit. She's a broke ass. He's a broke ass. So Trevor's mother, who is Trevor's like cha-ching, cash cow decides to pay for her ticket, and she does come to visit. So anyways, Trevor's mother flies this thing in to Medicine Hat. I guess she was picked up in Calgary. She gets there. She's a drunken fiend. He's a drunken fiend. She spends most of the time like on all fours, but backwards in a crab walk position with her legs spread as far as a human being could spread their legs, unless they're circus performers, doing this gyrating pelvic thing at him, following him around the house, where he was responding like a dog in heat. Now, I will admit, I started this video really, and you might even notice the screen changes. Like, honest to God, like, I don't even know how to talk about this. It was, yeah, I welcomed this woman into my home. I thought that this was going to be, you know, a wonderful and nurturing thing for him. And the two of them spent the entire time bumping uglies while I cleaned up after them. I've actually never in my fucking life seen anything quite like it. Did they actually... Yes, I saw that. I actually saw that. In fact, his mother paid again for him to fly to Ontario, where they did it again in the sister's house, and her husband caught them. And I just don't even know what to tell you, but I'll tell you, I've been doing a lot of research on this, and that incest thing is huge. First of all, Trevor hated his sister. He didn't love his sister at all. He has no capacity for love. He hated her fucking guts. Oh, I have mentioned many times the final act of indecency that Trevor committed against me. That was the absolute deal breaker, and people have asked me to share that. No, I'm not ready to share that yet, and people are probably thinking this is it, but no. I stayed an additional 3 years after that fucking freak show. I have never in my life witnessed anything like it, and did I see it? Yes, I actually saw it. I walked in on them, and I saw it. I heard it, and it was real, and I was gaslit to fucking hell and back for about the first year that I was crazy. I was insane. There must be something wrong with me that I would even think he would do something like that. I must be some sort of deviant, and I was actually questioning what I had actually seen, but I know what I saw, and Buddy's a fucking sister humper, and she does like the crab walk, chasing her brother with like some kind of gyrating pelvic thing. I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but it wasn't fucking right. And I've got 5 kids, and I've got a very large family with lots of aunts, lots of uncles, lots of cousins, like loads of them, and nobody fucks nobody in my family. Like, nobody in my family fucks family members. And he kept telling me I need to get over it. I need to put it behind us. I need to get past it. But I'm just going to tell you, the sister fucking event was pretty fucking weird for me. Now, Trevor was looking for a mother. He wasn't looking for a sister. He was bitterly, bitterly fucking envious that this sister had been raised by the mother and he had been given up for adoption. Did he want to love the sister? Well, fuck no. He has no capacity to love, not her, not his kids, not me, not his mother, nobody. But he did fuck her, and I actually saw that, and I was actually driven mad from the concept that I was actually insane, having deviant, creepy thoughts, and it went on and on and on till finally he gave up that charade and just said to me, you need to get over it. God, you're such a fucking bitch. Why can't you just get over it? I'm just saying, like, it's not the sort of thing, like, when you see that, you can't unsee it, and it fucking rocks you. I'm just saying, I was fucking rocked, and no, I couldn't get my head around it, and I felt like I had concussion. I was freaking out, and all this shit was going on in my mind, and I kept thinking, my fucking boyfriend's fucking a sister, and then, of course, he confesses to someone else who started text messaging me, haha, you're a fucking idiot, your boyfriend fucks his sister. Well, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you can't unsee it. You can't unknow it, and you can't be gaslit into believing that it's not real. Like, you kind of get in this mind state where you're thinking, what is real? Like, I don't know what the fuck is real. It was real. It was just fucking real. Yeah, you can't unsee it once you've seen it, and I've had a lot of comments, and I really don't reply because I knew I had to do a video, and this is the hardest video I've ever done. In fact, I'm feeling really shaky and really stressed out, and sometimes I touch on topics that actually cause me to have chest pain and breathe funny, and I'll tell you, this is one of them because you can't unsee it, like, once you've seen it, and it causes like ringing in your ears, and it causes you to see little lights, and it causes, I guess, a concussion because your brain just explodes, and then of course you're met with all this sort of you're nuts, you're crazy, you're bipolar, you're fucked in the head, you know, I didn't do that, you're hallucinating. Meanwhile, you know, you were there and you burst in the room and you saw it, you know what you saw, and all of a sudden now you're crazy and you're nuts and you're fucked in the head and you're just a horrible, horrible piece of shit, like, for seeing it, and you didn't want to see it. Like, nobody wants to see that. I have definitely made reference to sister humping and incest in the past, and hundreds of comments asking me to elaborate on this. I had to tell you that this was a very hard subject for me to discuss. Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it, and it will give you nightmares, and on top of that, you've been gaslit, like, to a point of absolute insanity, where now you're questioning, did I actually, like, see him with his sister? Like, did I actually see that? Yeah, I fucking saw that. I really did. Yeah, I did, and unfortunately, that was not the worst of it. Oh, my friends, this video is brutal. Okay, so the question is, do I think they engage in incest? Yes. The answer is absolutely yes. They will fuck their cousins. They will fuck their first cousins, their second cousins. They will fuck their siblings. They will fuck their children. They will fuck their parents. They will fuck the family dog. They will fuck your throw pillows. There is absolutely no end to it. They are on a family fuck fest, and I really struggle to get my head around that. That is something that has always just causes pow, massive mind explosion that I simply can't understand.